And we're here with Dr. Gates from the Georgetown School of Arts and Sciences to talk about some big news concerning the school. We're going to talk a little bit about the history of the school. And but right now I want to ask him about this year. Coming to an end already this year. Can you believe we're already at the end of a year?
It jumps up on us every year, and you'd think we expect it after a while.
Now, tell me about this year. You've got a graduation coming up at the end of the month. What's it like this year, graduation-wise?
We have, once again, all of our kids have gotten into the college of their choice. They're heading off, and we're going to celebrate their plans and their successes, I guess 2 weeks from now.
Now, you're wrapping up your 11th year here
That's
in
correct.
Georgetown, 11 years. In that 11 years, how many graduates have you had?
Right around 40. Yeah.
40 graduates.
Yeah.
Now, I understand when you celebrated your 10th anniversary this past year, a lot of them came back for a visit.
Right.
What was that like seeing especially the ones from the first few years come back and you get to see how their life is successful now? What was that like for you?
It was amazing for us. I mean, it was to be able to, telescope back through your history and see everybody that you've affected at the school was just a wonderful experience. To have them all in the same room. They each had overlapped quite a bit with each other, but there were some that were 10 years apart and hadn't overlapped at all. But to see them all there, sharing their experiences and tracing the beginning of what they've accomplished in life back to the school was just a really good thing to see.
And what's some of the big accomplishments that you did see last year when they came back? I mean, what are some of them doing that?
Well,
stand out?
just different everything. One of our students was an artist, and she went to SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. And then she moved on to Atlanta, where she's working in a museum, helping kids learn paint and draw at a museum there. Another one has already finished her PhD. One of them has gotten his master's in engineering from California, University of California.
Wow.
And is working in San Francisco, an engineering firm. I mean, it's just a bunch of different stories, and it's great to see them all.
So does that make you feel like a proud papa, so to speak, when you see them?
Well, they have their own parents.
No,
It does make us proud.
You started this school,
Yes.
and I remember I came to the first graduation.
That's
I think
right.
You had two
That's
to
right.
graduate that year, and you laid the foundation, from students in 5th grade through 12th grade to be these success stories that you're talking about now.
Well, the teachers had a lot to do with it, and the involvement of the community. I see it as something that the community of Georgetown has done for these kids.
So let's go back to
Yeah.
11 years ago when this was a beginning school. Why did you want to start this school? What's the goal of the school? Why is this school here?
Well, it's an unusual school, as you might remember from then when we talked about it. It was a school started mostly by teachers. Usually schools are started by concerned parents or something like that. Mm-hmm. Teachers got together and wanted to have a school where kids were prepared for college. I mean, actually not just getting into college, but succeeding once they got there. So it was a designed curriculum from top to bottom, one that would have our kids getting to university with all of the background they needed to succeed once they got there. And we wanted them to be, not just preparing to be sent away, but to be working on being part of the community as well. So having those two things go hand in hand, prepared for education out in the broad world while keeping immersed in serving the community here. So,
now, one of the things you do to make sure they're part of the community, I see, because I follow you on Facebook, you're out in the community all the time.
All the
whether it's
time.
on Front Street or at Baruch or
That's right.
different places, combining education and community.
That's correct.
It's not just field trips for fun. When you do these things, it's education as well.
That's right. Just this morning we walked down my U.S. history class. I took them down to look at Mayor Morgan's house and Joseph Rainey's house, which are 2 blocks apart and 3 blocks from our school here, and had them understand what happened in the early 1900s in Georgetown just by walking between two houses, and that was so a really nice thing to have. That was our deciding factor in ending up in this building. Actually, is we wanted to find a place that was centrally located in the city itself.
Yeah, let's talk about where you're located. You're inside what we call the Winyah Auditorium.
That's correct.
This used to be, of course, for people that may not know, a high school, Winyah High School. Back in the day, in 1981, there was a fire that destroyed almost the entire campus, except this one building, which is where the Winyah Auditorium is, and you're in the upstairs portion of that. And one of the things that made a lot of people happy back 11 years ago is there was a talk about just closing the building down. Maybe even tearing it down possibly and putting something else here. And not only did you come save it from possible destruction, you put education back in the building. And a lot of people were excited about that. I remember that said, oh, it's going to be a school again. Yes.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, the auditorium's great, and it's great for shows and things like that and performances, but having education back in the building, that just made a lot of people happy.
That's true. And in fact, Tom Martin was sort of the key person behind the auditorium when we started here. And Tom and I sat down and thought about all the ways of making this a cultural center, a place not, an educational center, but also a cultural center. And it was, unfortunately, Tom passed away a few years back, but it's still, important to us that this is, people come, we had people come in every day, or just, not, that's an exaggeration, at least once a week, twice a week. Somebody comes in and says, oh, I used to go to school in that room right there. I used to have, Arthur Doyle and teach me in that class right there. And it's just fun to have. And, they're excited that it's a school again.
So for the last 11 years, you've been renting this space here in the Winyah Auditorium, but now you're going to buy it.
That's correct. Well, we already taken possession.
Oh, you did buy it. Okay, so it is now officially the Georgetown School of Arts and Sciences building now,
right? And
you own it. Why is that a big deal? Why is that?
Well, first of all, I should clear up. We were nearly given the building. I mean, the owners have generously sold it to us for $1 or something like that after renting it to us for 10 years. That's a huge thing. If people who have followed it in the news know that there's been talk about possibly selling the building, turning it over to the city, something like that. And so our status as a renter has always been kind of up in the air. We've been trying to sort of cement something more permanent. And now to be owners means we're here. We love the place, and now we're here to stay. And we're not only owners of what we've been renting, but in room to expand as well.
Now, what does this include? The auditorium itself is sort of remain.
That's correct.
What it is.
The building is an H, basically, and this connected by the auditorium. The two ends connected by the auditorium. The far end will still remain the eye surgery. And then this end will be primarily us.
Does this mean expansion for the school in any way?
It does. It means we've been talking about expanding grades, perhaps expanding the number of people we can allow per grade. We'll be looking to get more students and hiring new teachers as well. Probably.
Well, that is great. And so as far as taking in more students, do you have room for more students for the upcoming school year? We
do. We've been limiting our intake lately and sort of stuck in it, not wanting to push our size beyond what we're able to handle, but we'll be adding classrooms over the summer, and we're going to be able to accommodate more students. So we're looking to enroll more new students, yes.
And how can people find out more or get in touch with you?
On Facebook, we have a site, just the Georgetown School site, and on our internet site is www.thegeorgetownschool.com or .org.
So also as part of the expansion, you're going to hopefully have new students this coming year, but you need new teachers because of that.
That's correct. We're always looking for people who are interested in this project. I mean, the people that really love their subject matter. That's what we're after. Most of our high school teachers have PhDs in their subject, And and that's not that we require a PhD, but we are looking for people who are fascinated by what they do. And it doesn't, we've had people give a single class, and we really look. Right now we have somebody teaching a video class, and that's the only class they'll ever teach for us, and it's what they really love, and it really helps kids to see people that love what they're doing. So we're looking for people like that always, and we'll be looking for more permanent teachers too as we expand.
Now, do you think the school district is following your model, so to speak, when they started the magnet schools that have specific topics? You've got Carver's Bay area, you've got schools that deal with arts, and some that deal with mathematics, and some that deal specific topics. Well, you were doing that 11 years ago.
Well, I don't know if we're necessarily the cutting edge, but I mean, I think that when they're answering the same thing that we're looking at, that when you get to college, it helps if you've been introduced to some things that you can be passionate about. Always when college recruiters come to us, they're asking, what are your students like to do? What's the drive? Do they have something that they really want to pursue? And that makes a big difference. And it makes a big difference that how committed you are to getting through college, and that you have something you're working for. So we require all of our students to do internships in their senior year. Now, I guess that's being started in the public school system as well. We've done it for since the beginning, but just so they get a taste of what it would be like to work in a field that they're really interested in. We always do every year we do a week-long trip. We take the whole school and we visit universities and colleges on that trip, so they can get a look at what different colleges and universities look like, and what they're going to have to spend 4 years there. So it is, and now I think other people are seeing the wisdom in that. I think it is a model that everybody's heading towards in some way or another. I don't know if like I said, I don't know if we were the cutting edge. but
the School of Arts and Science.
Right.
Now we've got the Carver's Bay of, the
right.
Browns Ferry of,
Mm-hmm.
something that you've been doing for 11 years.
Yeah.
So I mean, what do you see the school 10, 11 years from now?
Well, I hope we don't have a model of wanting to get so big that it becomes just another big school. We purposely keep classes small. We purposely keep the school intimate for the reason that we want to be able to take a group of kids and just go on a trip to go see something if we want to. Like I was telling you earlier, we set up in the town here so that we could just walk out to one of the museums in town if we wanted to, and make it back in time for the end of class, like we did this morning. So I don't see us getting huge, but I would like to see us, at the point where we're regularly graduating 10 kids every year, and that would be, to me, that would be plenty large enough, and sort of fit this building too.